So these things start to appear. When they put it together, they start to present something that is capable of giving you the ability or the ability to produce, to have mass production, to produce maybe 20 or 30. Okay, so that was as a result of the introduction of simple tools and machines. Before that, they used to be called cottage industries. So people were, the production was done either in homes or in small shops, called it cottage industries. Funny enough, what the world witnessed in the Industrial Revolution is similar to what we are witnessing now in terms of technology changes. Like, mobile phones, internet, social networking, social media. There are major changes that are affecting our life, yeah, and that are affecting our businesses. So during this day, the Industrial Revolution, with its simple tools and equipment and machines, posed a threat to the people working in the industry. Those craftsmen and apprentices who were, their livelihood was based on, producing small amounts of different products. When they started to see that, the Industrial Revolution bringing some of the businesses doing mass production, then they started losing jobs. So they put huge resistance. There was a major resistance to the technological changes, which happened as the Industrial Revolution. Very comparable to, when you have a new system in your organization, you find resistance by end users. Okay? And this is called technological change resistance. Now we move from Industrial Revolution, we talk about modern manufacturing methods. There are different methods which have appeared, maybe 50s, 60s, 70s, but start to mature in the 80s. One of them is called lean production. Lean production, this is the Japanese model of production. Japan was able to dominate global automobile markets by using these techniques. They used lean manufacturing or production, which has helped them to achieve the miracle of being the leaders in the world in the automobile industry. As Toyotas, Nissan, Mazdas, Hondas, and all this. Yeah. Also, we have soft manufacturing. Of course, I'm only talking about this at high level because we have a decayed part of this course later on, which talks about more definition about lean manufacturing. Even here in the next slide. Soft manufacturing also is another approach, also known as agile manufacturing. This is a combination of design features and automation. Now this is common in the different information system implementation, agility. And the third one is called re-engineering. And re-engineering is about reconsidering all the old ways and replacing them with best, improved practices and improved processes. Okay? Philosophy of lean. So what does lean mean? They were lean manufacturing, which was adopted by Japanese. In Japan, they suffered from lack of space and lack of resources. You agree? Japan is a very small area. And also their resources are very limited. In fact, most of their manufacturing and things is done through importing resources from the outside world and converted into cars, converted into electronic devices and things like that. So they suffered from lack of space and lack of resources. And they looked at the Americans. The Americans, after the Second World War, they mastered mass production, because especially for war, they started to produce aeroplanes and produce military missiles and produce military equipment and ammunition and all this stuff. The Americans did not have a problem with resources, did not have a problem with space. So their mass production was doing fine with no problem. And they could afford to have waste. Because they have resources. You have certain quantity of raw material that goes into the production line to produce certain quantity of tags, for example. If we have a waste of 3% or 5% of this as tags, which are not exactly to our quality standards, that's okay, because we have more resources which we can put to produce. The Japanese could not do that, because they were scarce in resources. So what they said, we cannot imitate or replicate the American success in mass production using their methodology. What we can do is we use the lean manufacturing. Lean manufacturing has something called aversion of waste, or zero waste. So the Japanese were saying, lean manufacturing is to make sure that there will be no waste. Whatever you put in the, in the production line will produce exactly what it's supposed to produce of quantity, with no waste, no defects, right? And they succeeded in doing this. Anything in Japanese model, anything that does not contribute value to the product is considered a waste. Think about this. This is why we talked about the value chain. And value chain here, we were talking about every organization had its own definition of the activities, core or supporting. If any of these activities which are being done in your organization, they're not contributing value to the product, then this is waste. They call it redundancy. So lean says that only you will be involved only in activities that are directly related to the creating value to the product. Okay? Otherwise it's waste. Lean focus is on eliminating waste and utilizing the full capability of workers and suppliers. So you probably saw Shuqairi in Ramadan, he talks about Japanese model. You find that within the same factory, the same Japanese laborer can have different hats. He can be the supervisor, he can be an electrician, and he can be maybe a mechanical assistant. So they are very efficient. This is lean manufacturing is really efficiency and effectiveness. It's about utilizing resources, of course when I say resources, I mean human resources as well as material resources, as all the different resources, very efficiently, and also ensuring that there will be zero waste, i.e. there is value in everything done. Nobody can, and this obviously is translated to productivity. Looking at in the UAE office, in different organizations, you go to an office and you see that if you want to check the productivity of people, find that some people out of the 8 hours, they will be working only 1 hour. This is the real value. So the value of what they do, their contribution of value is only 1 hour. Yeah? Here we're saying that we cannot afford, in lean manufacturing, we cannot afford any discrepancy, any waste, or any lack of utilization. Now going to the service economy, and this says that it represents the service economy as compared to the products or finished goods economy. It represents more than 80% of jobs in the United States, and similarly in Europe and other places in Asia. So this only highlights the importance of services, meaning that we don't want to continue talking about things which are only products or finished goods. We need to talk also about services. So what are services? There are different definitions. If I ask what are services, quickly, without looking at what does service mean to you, sir? What is it? What's a service as compared to a product or a finished good? This is a product. Yeah. There's something called product or finished good. Goods and in Australia they call goods and services. In fact, there was one of the elections which was about the introduction of something called GST, goods and services tax. So anything in organizations will be classified either as goods or services. So this is a good or a product. What's a service?
Intangible goods.
I like to hear this because who agrees with the gentleman here? So it is about tangibility and intangibility. And actually, most of the people, when they are addressed with this question, they will answer this question. They will say, a service can be touched and you can hold to it, you can carry it. But the service is what I deliver. Yeah. When I go back to Abu Dhabi tomorrow, yeah, my service is maybe has translated some knowledge in people's heads, yeah, so to prepare them for the exam. But the service itself you cannot touch. Okay? So the products are tangible, services are intangible. This is one of the definitions, the common definitions. There are other important aspects of this which differentiate a product from a service. So we're going to talk about this. Before we do this, let us look at the types, the typical businesses with their own services. You have, for example, businesses selling services to customers, the like of restaurants, appliance repairs, and so on. Yeah. You have organizations providing specialist knowledge, such as consulting, such as accounting, and training in different areas. You have also organizations providing welfare to customers. And this will be in education, for example, hospitals, etc. Also, there are government services, so which includes e-government licensing, registration, police, and others. So we have different businesses, which provide different services. And I know that UK, the result of the UK election.
Yeah, the Democratic.
Sorry?
The Conservative Party won.
Conservative Party. Because the nationalists in Scotland, they punished the Labour Party. Just saying this because I woke up this morning, on the results. I wanted to say, I'm bringing this because I was talking about UK. UK economy is a service-based economy. You know that? Yeah. In the past, Malaysia was an agriculture-based economy. Now it is a manufacturing-based economy of products, microchips, hardware, furniture, they exporting. So just talking about service is very important, and just these are examples. Some economies are highly dependent on services, like the UK. The banking, the insurance. The UK is very, very good at this. Defining a service, some people already said that it is about intangible as compared to tangible products, but a better definition is that the services are produced and consumed simultaneously. Might sound philosophical. Think about it. Services are produced and consumed simultaneously at the same time. Because when you go to a shop, to a cafe, and you have your cup of coffee delivered to you, or you go to a restaurant and the meal is given to you, the minute the waiter provides this to you, delivers this to you, this is when the service is being the service delivered. This is actually the important point in the process, delivery of service. You will have the service delivered, and you will consume it in the same place at the same time. You know what I mean?
Or Wi-Fi services is more.
Wi-Fi services. Yeah. What again?
I mean, more close for to give an example, because in a product and a coffee, you might consider that you are buying also a product, the coffee itself.
No, a service actually itself is defined as 3 components. One of them is a product, but it's still the service. It's called service bundle. The dominance is of the service. What doctor does, what a consultant does, what a trainer does, what a lecturer does, is a service. There might be a tangible component in it as part of the bundle, like giving you some
book,
notes or something like this. I'm delivering the service, but I might give you some notes or some exam preparation guide or something like this. But it's still a service. The dominance is on a service. Service has 3 components, which will come to it. And the service as a definition, yes, tangibility and intangibility is one of the main differentiators, but another definition is that it will be done, the delivery of the service, i.e. the service production, producing the service, and the consumption of in certain cases might not apply because it might have a takeaway, yeah?
No, exactly.
So you'll be eating it somewhere else. Maybe then you can think of it as a product, because in this case it will be a product.
Exactly.
But if it is, if you're sitting in a restaurant and a waiter come and deliver to you the food, then it's a service which includes part of it. One of the components of it is the hamburger or the food which is being delivered. But there are exceptions, for example, like simultaneous production and consumption of is thus one of the critical characteristics of service, right? Because it implies that the customer may be in the production system while production takes place. It's very interesting. So imagine that the production is actually delivery. The service is being delivered. This is the actual process. This is the production. And both parties, the consumer and the producer, are in the same place. Okay? But there are cases, of course, like when you have electricity, water, or communication line. You plug your to charge your phone, mobile phone. The electricity is there, maybe generated somewhere else. It's a service, but it's not the same place. It's not delivered. There's no this. Hello? Hello? Run out of battery. Hello?
It was not working.
Was it working? Maybe. It's working now? Sorry. I
No,
was holding this and speaking.
it was not working.
Oh, my head. Okay, so we have most services are provided to the customer at the same time. There are exceptions like with electricity, water, communication, where you are plugging your phone to the service from your home or office while it is being generated somewhere else. I think these things about producing the service and consuming the service in the same place has its own implications. This is why it is highlighted. Because you'll see in a minute that the important and the critical point in the service will be decided when the actual interface takes place. The moment when the waiter, come and deliver the service. At that point in time, your reaction as a customer, as a consumer, will be deciding actually the success or failure of the service delivered. Different to the product. The product is sometimes, you need to check specifications, and you might do an audit or inspection. But with this, you have the meal coming there and say, sorry, this is cold, you have the first, you try it, and you might decide that this is not exactly what you ordered, or it's cold, or something like this. Right? So this is the deciding moment of the success or failure of the service. So the social interaction is very important. This is why we're highlighting, that it is produced and consumed at the same time. So many services can be defined as interactions that are social in nature. When you go to the petrol station, this guy will, I don't know, I haven't tried this in Bahrain, in Kuwait. But somebody will fill up for you, fuel, yeah? If you go to the shop, somebody maybe will get you whatever you order. But, so you will be talking to somebody will be, you're interfacing with somebody who provided the service, like what we're doing now, interface between us. Interaction between service provider and consumer at time production is critical attribute to the service. Does indicate success or failure, which is very important, Success or failure is really a very critical thing, because if it is not good, it's a waste. Yeah. Have you ever been to Chili's?
Yeah.
I've been to Chili's sometimes with my kids, and sometimes they get the wrong order. My daughter says that, sorry, this is not, this is not good. I did not order rice. I say, no, you can keep this, and I'll bring another one. And because this is something coming with the social interaction and with the production and consumption at the same time and same place, something which is different to products is called empowerment. Services have something called empowerment, given to the party who does the delivery. Although he's a waiter, yeah, he's only a waiter. But this guy can actually, on the spot, say to you, we'll replace it for you gladly, no problem. Or you can, you can keep it, sir, and we'll get you the right order. And so with products, I don't think we'll be able to do that. We'll go through the managerial approval, you know. If you say that this mobile phone which I bought from you is not working, you say, okay, let us see what's, you know, leave it with us and we'll see what we can do. And to say, you cannot say, you know, as a first line officer, you know, say, we'll replace it for you. You cannot, it's a big decision. With services, you can. Please put it forward.
Can you take a break?
Yeah, we'll take a break, but give me, just to finish this slide. There's something called service product bundle. And before designing the process, okay, the service product bundle consists of 3 elements. First, benefits of explicit service. This is an order is taken correctly, so the service needs to be checked for its, whether it is matching requirement, whether it is satisfactory to the party receiving the service. And there's the psychological benefits, and this is implicit services. This is the courtesy of, you know, the person who does the delivery will be having the courtesy to, you know, talk in a friendly manner, you know, and to treat the customer in the right way. And the third component is the actual product, which is part of the service, i.e. maybe the hamburger or the cup of coffee which is being delivered. So service is not necessarily purely service. Might have this product component associated, but the dominance is for service. And this is an example. Fast food restaurants, tangible is fast and accurate service. Physical goods, the food itself, and psychological is the interaction, you know, and how the waiter will be interacting or welcoming
The continuous services also.
Right?
The continuous services.
And to continue the service. So you can try for yourself something like dental service or airline flight or pizza home delivery, you know, and see what are the 3 components associated with this. Okay, we can break now. Is it 10:30 already?
It's 11 almost.
I'm very sorry. Let's break for 15 minutes, please.